guys have this radio station right now. Our producer, Drew Young, our news anchor, morning host, as you heard right there, Scott Jagow, and our news editor, Brad Choate. They're all wearing City, all three of them.
You got yours. You need yours.
I don't have any City on that. I mean, this team has taken this station, this city, this region by storm. Wow. What a win yesterday, 3-0 over Miami. Two of you have Cardinals gear. I do believe that was an STL hat on the head of Scott Jagow, and that was a Cardinals lid or shirt. I can't remember. I think hat. Yes, and he's got City gear on Brad Choate, so he's repping both teams. You are not, as far as I can tell. Yeah.
Usually Brad has Kansas City merch on.
He loves those Chiefs. We carry them too. We carry the Chiefs too, and the Billikens. But I'll tell you what, City is. I mean, they're not overtaking the Cardinals necessarily, but both of them played last night at the same time, and I thought both places were rocking pretty good. I noted this morning with Scott that hearing the crowd at Busch Stadium, and I was not there. I'll tell you where I was in just a minute, but the crowd sounded really into it last night for a team that's 14 games under 500, and the crowd at City Park was absolutely on fire last night. And I did have that game on as well, and to watch and listen to both games is pretty special. To hear all those crowds happening in downtown and the backing that City has right now and the tear that they're on. Again, it shouldn't be too much of a concern to any other sports teams because it is the time and the place right now is very special for City, but they are going to be great and they're going to draw a lot of attention and revenue for a long time in this place. It is very special to downtown West. I mean, what an incredible thing to know that there is a stadium like that, $1 billion complex when you add up everything else that they've built right by Union Station in an area that was nothing. With all respect to any buildings or hotels that were there. I mean, it needed a boost. And look at this. I mean, this is just crazy. So congratulations to everybody over there. As for the Cardinals, it's difficult to come out of the Friday game and then Saturday lose that first one, but they came out and they pounded away. We're going to talk to Ollie Marmol about it in just a minute. In that second game, it's just been disappointing. I'm happy to see them play well, but we all know they've dug too deep of a hole to win the division. It would take a miracle, and we all know that it's just too much. So it's tough. It's going to be, at this point, a very intriguing trade deadline, though. I have already looked at 24 to see what that team could look like, and we're going to find out here in a couple of weeks. I think a good piece of that 24 team. I do believe John Mozeliak when he says on our air last week that Joe Pott that they're going to change some faces. There are going to be some trades made. We're going to talk to him in a little over an hour. He's not going to tell us who he's trading. He doesn't know because it's a matter of the offers that he's going to get here in the next couple of weeks. But we'll get an idea where he's thinking in terms of trade strategy. Once again, he joins us every Sunday at 11:30 here on KMOX. When I had him on a couple of weeks ago, he talked about how his exact words were, it's fair to say that we should have done more or could have done more. And what does that mean? Well, the rotation is what we were talking about specifically. And he talked about giving guys opportunities. He is basically saying that, we tried to fill a couple of holes internally and perhaps they should have gone out and gotten a little more aggressive in adding some depth there. So will they learn from that? As he said, we'll see. We'll talk to him about that. It's not going to all be fixed on August 1st, but at the end of the season, a complete reassessment should be underway, if not already. And then you get ready for 24 with Arenado and Goldschmidt and Walker and Newt Barr, and these are the untradables, and Mason Wynn, and you go. And maybe Gorman, Donovan play part. I mean, I don't want to say that everybody else is gone, but what is your core, and how do you go attack that and get some pitching to support those guys? And that's exactly what I think the Cardinals are going to set out to do. Yesterday, I just appreciate all the messages, and they come in for my birthday. It was very nice. I share a birthday, however, with Mike Shannon, and he was very much on my mind yesterday. We lost him, and just, 10 days before that, 12 days before that, lost my father-in-law, Gary Ronberg, who also shares my birthday. So July 15th, Gary Ronberg, Mike Shannon, me. I know there are some others, perhaps some are listening. Love all my birthday brothers. But really, yesterday we had a family gathering for Papa Gary and to celebrate his life, and it just made me really think and reflect about life and about how precious it is. As most of you know, I lost my father 30 years ago. That woke me up as a teenager to get myself together and to appreciate and soak in every ounce of life. And I think it was another reminder, and I'll add Rick Hummel, a very dear friend who we lost a month after Mr. Shannon, that at the age of 77, so there are three very important people in my life that were suddenly lost, and it is hard, but it's also a reminder to yourself how precious life is, how to take in every moment, and just not to. I know it's a cliche, not to sweat the small stuff. I'm not somebody who's going to get angry over things that happen in the world or in sports or in my own personal life. I just have to teach myself. I think we all try to do this, is just to live in the present. Think about the future, but don't, get too anxious over it, and don't dwell on the past, and just enjoy the present. And boy, the last night was really a lot of fun being around, even though it was a solemn uh, few months leading up to that, thinking about Gary. It was nice to be around a lot of people who love each other and who appreciate being in the moment. So that's where we were yesterday. I hope that you can share those moments with your family, hug them close. And I know that all of you knew in this audience Mike Shannon as closely as I did, because we listened to him every day. It doesn't matter if you knew him personally or not. He was part of our life, and so I absolutely joined the Cardinals in that yesterday, in remembering Mike Shannon. And thank you again for all of your listenership here on the show. Coming up next is Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. He'll be with us in 2 minutes. Lutz Pfannelstiel, what a game for his team. The sporting director at City. He will be with us at 11:15. John Mozeliak, who I just talked about, he'll be with us at 11:30. We're keeping an eye on Wimbledon as well, and this Carlos Alcaraz is something else. He came back after losing the first set 6-1 to Novak Djokovic and won the second set 7-6. Now, if this is going to be a marathon 5-set match, I'm not sure who that favors. The history tells you that Djokovic will win it because he's the experience, but this Alcaraz is going to wear you down if you let him. He's 20 years old. He's explosive. He's smart. He's the number one player in the world. And if there's any time where we could see the start of the changing of the guard, it could be now. I mean, Djokovic just whiffed on a forehand. There are a couple little things in here that are uncharacteristic and make him look a little more human against Alcaraz. And then there are some times where he shows the heart of a champion and why he is the best player that we've ever seen, probably. So we'll continue to watch that. Wimbledon in the third set now, as Alcaraz won the second set 7-6 after losing the first one 6-1. They just started the third set. Quick break. Ollie Marmol back with us in just a minute on Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle? That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you use a rideshare service, you're putting your life in the hands of a stranger. You're relying on them to get you safely where you need to go. But sometimes tragedies occur. And when they do, big companies like Uber and Lyft are often impossible to deal with on your own. We know how to hold these companies accountable. When you've been involved in a car crash or been a victim of assault, we're here to protect you.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com for more information.
I would suit up in my uniform, and you're going out on patrol. What are we going to do tonight? Well, we're going to rob some drug dealers, and I know how to do it really well.
Listen to and follow The Set, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series, available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your shows.
I'm not a bad guy, man, but I loved being that dirty
Carol Daniel for Chesterfield Fence and Deck. I have a special for you just for the month of July. When you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck and mention my name, Carol Daniel, you get 20% off your next outdoor project. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, 636-532-4054. You're also going to get not just 20% off, which is fantastic, but you're going to get quality products and expert installation. That's exactly what we got when Chesterfield Fence and Deck built our bronze aluminum fence over 10 years ago. Frames our backyard beautifully. You're also going to get the free in-home estimate and the free project design. When I think of our bronze aluminum fence, frames our backyard beautifully, makes my husband's landscaping really pop. So are you ready to enjoy your backyard like never before? Let my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck show you exactly what they can do. Whether it is a wood fence or a beautiful sunroom or gorgeous pergola, Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. 12:20 pregame today, Cardinals and Nationals. It's Jack Flaherty against Josiah Gray. Flaherty's been great recently. 12 2/3 scoreless ball for him as he goes up against Gray, who's also been good at 2.20 ERA over his last 3 starts and pitched a scoreless inning in the All-Star game. And joining us right now is Ollie Marmol. Oliver Marmol is the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. He joins us at 10:15. You hear me okay there, Ollie?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Good morning.
Just want to make sure we've had the phones have been on and off here over the last week or so, but great to talk to you. I have some thoughts on the games yesterday, but I just wanted to kind of overall ask you, since I haven't talked to you since, how your All-Star break went and how you spent that before you got back into it.
It was a good one. I was able to get some rest and get away for a little bit. We went to Florida and spent 3 days there and heading on back and ready for the second half.
That's good. It's been, I know, for you personally, you're the manager of the Cardinals. You know how big of a job it is, but it is a grind and you need that break, especially when things aren't going well. It's probably an extra weight on you. I mean, you won a division last year. You won the division and that was hard. What has it been like this year to grind through this, what has been a tough year in the standings?
It's been rough, Tom. I mean, there's no secrets. It's been disappointing up to this point, and you wake up every morning trying to figure out a way to turn it around. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do, and we got a group that cares. But it just we just keep finding different ways to lose. And yesterday, the first game was an example of that, and we have to figure out a way to play better baseball. But yeah, it's been tough.
What happened in that first game? And it was, of course, an extension and a continuation of Friday. So how did you approach that and get that thing started on Saturday after the suspension on Friday?
Yeah, we just, I mean, you saw the game. We made some mistakes, several of them that it was tough to overcome. I felt like we put together some pretty good at-bats, but came up short and had the guys we wanted in the back end and weren't able to finish the way we wanted to finish. Gio didn't have his slider the way he wanted to and gave up that double. But overall, it was a tough first one. I'm glad we took the second game.
That second game, after a rain delayed the start, and then you came out firing, didn't you? This team was swinging the bats. That was actually a season high for the Cardinals. 17 hits in that ball game, Ollie.
Yeah, a lot of good swings, and everybody contributed. I mean, you look up and down that lineup, and the guys did a really nice job of stringing together some quality at-bats and good left-on-left at-bats with Burleson and Gorman, even Donovan to line out the third, left-on-left, and then some big swings. I mean, Herrera had a really good day with 3 hits. He continues to swing the bat well, did a really nice job behind the plate, handled our pitchers well, blocked well. So he continues to develop and show well. And Gorman took some pretty good swings. So overall, it was a pretty positive day.
I would say so. The Cardinals really swinging the bats well. Alec Burleson with a tremendous catch, too. He hits a bomb. He makes a great catch. Jordan Walker had a great catch. I wanted to ask you about that, too. The two of them working in some playing time in the outfield and how they've come along. Two of them are really good friends too, which I like.
Yeah, they're working hard. I mean, you watch them, you get here early before BP even starts, and they're out there getting reads and working on their footwork, working on going back on the ball, playing balls off the wall. And then during BP, they're out there getting reads off the bat and tracking balls down. So they're putting in the work, and it'll take time, especially Walker. It's going to take time for him to develop into a good defender, but he's got the skill set to do it. He's got speed. He's got the arm. He's instinctual. He sees the game, and it's just a matter of reps. So yesterday, really nice play coming in, diving, and kept him in that game, create a little confidence for him. But he continues to show better in right field, and it's going to take time, but he's doing a better job.
Ivan Herrera sneaking in there with a 3-for-3 day, and he has been pretty good for you since you called him up, hasn't he? I mean, Andrew Kisner unfortunately deals with a tough injury there, but Herrera, how did he look in the minor leagues? What was your report on him, and has this been reflective of that?
It has. He came in the spring and really started to put in the work. We're seeing a different guy behind the plate as far as just receiving and framing and blocking. He's slower. He's calmer behind the plate. Everything he's doing is just a little quieter, which is great. And offensively, he's putting together some really nice ABs. So, yes, to his credit, he's put in a ton of work, and we're seeing a much better player, and he's only going to continue to get better. I mean, he's young and hungry, so he's done a nice job to this point.
We've all seen what we've seen from Nolan Gorman and his bat. We know that it went quiet there for a while, but he has a pretty special bat. I mean, it's ferocious when it gets rolling. I wanted to ask about him in the field and just as an overall player. How has he looked to you in that standpoint this year?
You broke up a little bit, Tom. Who is it?
Nolan Gorman. How has he looked just overall? We know his bat is ferocious and pretty special when he gets it rolling, but from that standpoint in the field, how has Gorman been?
He's actually been good. Yeah. What comes to mind is a couple games where he had some mishaps, but the reality is he's played a really good second base. He's turned a really good double play. He's ranged side to side well. When you look at just his ability, like the defensive run save, like this is a guy that's a positive defender at second base right now. He's done a really nice job, and he's continuing to get better around the bag, towards his backhand, coming in on balls. He's working on all those things, but overall this year, he's actually played a really nice second base.
Yeah, he's got a real talent, I think, for your future. And unfortunately, you have him because you've had to move some people around in the middle infield with Paul DeYoung playing shortstop, but in particular, Tommy Edman on the shelf with the wrist. How is he coming along? How is Tommy?
He's doing okay. He got an injection in the wrist. It was just a lot of discomfort. Couldn't swing. With the injection, there will be several days of no swing, and then a progression to get him back into BP, and then see how we can go from there. But yeah, this is a guy that's a good defender at second base. I mean, he's unbelievable over there. He can play short. We've had to put him in center field in order to kind of settle that a little bit with the way the style of play in the outfield over the last several months. But it hurts not having him, but our hope is that he makes progress and we see him back in the lineup soon.
Ollie, how do you deal with the knowledge? I mean, you don't know exactly who's going to be moved, but that your president of baseball operations, I mean, he said it right here on this show, he said candidly, we're going to have to change some faces. Do you let that enter your mind as a manager? How do you manage the club knowing that that is on the horizon?
Yeah, it's part of the business. You don't play well, and that's what it leads to. And it is what it is. You show up, and my job is with the guys that we have in this clubhouse at the moment is figure out a way to win with them. So a lot of my time and energy goes towards that. I don't really allow the other stuff to be a distraction, and try to keep it from being a distraction for our players. But at the end of the day, we have a job to do, and it's to beat Washington today. So whatever happens, but we just got to figure out a way to string together some wins and go from there.
Yeah. You've been down this road before as a bench coach too, haven't you? Because you had to play that role as a bench coach. Bench coach was like the line to the manager in some ways,
no doubt.
So you had to play not therapists, but you know what I mean, but deal with human beings. That has to work in your favor.
It really does, and that's a big part of that job is building, at the end of the day, building trust with each one of those guys and making sure that there's buy-in to the process. But also there's times where they're not happy with certain things, and you got to be able to communicate in a way that's honest and not just kind of tell them what they want to hear, but allow them to understand the bigger picture. So yeah, it helps to do that job before sitting in this seat because you've built the trust and the relationship with the players. And that's a big part of moving this thing forward.
I know I bring up Tony La Russa a lot, but I covered him throughout his time here, and I covered him longer than any other manager. So it's one of my biggest points of reference. But a lot of people know this, that you would come into his office before the game. Hey, Tony, how you doing? He said, talk to me at 10 o'clock. That was his line always. And it was just him. He carried those losses hard. I know he celebrated the wins, but I know those losses were hard. I know you alluded to this in the beginning of our conversation here, but how do you do that? Turn the page and play the next day after a loss? Is that we all know there have been some tough ones this year.
Yeah, we credit to our group. They've actually done a really good job of turning the page and being able to attack the next day as if it's a new day. We've had some tough losses, and they have done a really good job of that. If you look at some of the tough losses we've had, the guys have bounced back and done well. It's part of the job. It's what we get paid to do. It's not easy. And at the end of the day, do I wish we turned this thing around? Absolutely, man. I mean, like I said earlier, this is what we're passionate about, and we want to make sure we show well for this city. And the way we've been supported over the years, it's like yesterday, man. There's 40,000 people in the stands, and it's so fun to hear that crowd do what they do when we're playing good baseball, and we want to get back to that.
Good luck today against the Nationals. I mentioned there's one more thing. Jack Flaherty, just a thought on Flaherty before we go. I mentioned him out of the gate that he's pitched extremely well. What have you seen from Jack?
He has. He's commanding the baseball. He's reaching back, and Belo's there when he needs it. And he has done a really good job of just being on the attack. His last several outings have been really good for us, and our hope is that he continues that today.
Cardinals and Nationals today at 1:15. We'll have it for you right here on KMOX with Mike Claiborne and Ricky Horton on the call. Matt Pauley will have the pregame. Ollie Marmol has been with us this morning for his segment. We always love these segments. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.
Have a good one. Manager of the Cardinals with us as always on these Sunday mornings, coming up on 10:30. Taking a peek at Wimbledon, it's Carlos Alcaraz. Both of these players, they play to the crowd a little bit. They're pumping their fists. Djokovic in particular likes to wave on the crowd, and he's going to need their help here because Alcaraz has taken a 2-1 lead in that third set. He lost the first one, Alcaraz did 6-1, but he came back on this legendary player Djokovic, 7-6 in the second set, now up 2-1 in the third set. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll go back and look at Wimbledon, but we'll also take a little trip around sports and let you know what happened in the world on the way. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. Don't forget, Lutz, Pfannelstiel at 11:15, John Mozeliak at 11:30 right here, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jewels on Hampton your first stop. Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
KMOX Enter Service Weekend, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
I don't want to wait.
You never want to wait.
Not when I'm sticking to the couch.
Well, those guys can install a new AC for days. Evidently, no one can.
Jerry Kelly can install a new AC tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, even if we call it 8 tonight.
Wow, that's fast.
They're fast and they're good.
Mathematically, that actually equals got it going on.
Tomorrow, I love ya.
JerryKelly.com. Manchester Coin and Jewelry is the estate buyers. They buy collectibles from vintage toy trains, musical instruments, military, and more. Located on Manchester Road west of 141. It's Manchester Coin and Jewelry.
Be the next legendary winner at Horseshoe St. Louis Casino. Enjoy thrilling action and bold bets from classic slot play and state-of-the-art video machines to all your favorite table games and high-limit action. Set along the Mississippi River in the heart of downtown, just a quick walk from the ballpark. Horseshoe St. Louis Casino, a Caesars Rewards destination. Legendary. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
This is Bruce Adams with All Surface Flooring, here to announce our anniversary sale starting July 17th through July 22nd. That week only, we'll be offering 20% off our entire store, including Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet and the incredible, durable Mohawk Ultrawood. On Saturday, July 22nd, come join us for our parking lot extravaganza. Help us celebrate All Surface Flooring with food, drinks, prizes, and our largest sale in store history. You won't want to miss this one-time only sale.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler talking about a special 2-day event where you can learn more about Dr. Bosler's newest hearing aids.
Charlie, people are loving these new hearing aids and telling us that they provide a smooth sound, and they're giving a noticeable reduction in that interfering background noise, which allows for them to have more clarity and understanding in those noisier settings. This event is providing people a chance to listen for themselves. We're offering 2 days for a $500 off coupon, free earwax removal, free hearing screenings, free hearing aid cleanings. And we're so confident that you're going to love these new hearing aids that we're even giving away free trial periods.
Thanks, Doctor. The event is July 18th and 19th at your St. Peter's and Creve Coeur offices. Appointments are recommended 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center STL.com.
Can you imagine being a superhero?
With a sidekick?
Can you imagine you can fly?
Your sidekick shows up wherever you are.
In a fancy blue truck.
And whatever you point at disappears.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your sidekick.
We're twitching in anticipation.
Vibrating with energy.
We haul away whatever you point at.
Any home or apartment.
Workplace or job site.
We're industrial strength sidekicks.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back. Cardinal baseball coming your way today at 1:15. Welcome all of you. Ollie mentioned it in the interview right there, and I said it first thing I said this morning when Scott asked me, what was your impression of last night's game? I said the crowd. I mean, the crowd was good last night, and it's been good all year. I mean, they just keep coming in. They just roared last night for a team that is at the bottom of the division. But I think, a lot of people come in for the weekend, and this is their team, and it's their chance to see their team, and they're going to cheer for the Cardinals. It's not like the entire fan base is angry and not going to the games, but they do want to be rewarded for the money that they're putting down. The Cardinals fans want to be recognized and want to be heard, and I like that. I really do. I like when Cardinals fans are passionate, not only about last night, but I do not mind. I'm not saying I like booing, but I like passion. I like questions. I like when fans want more and demand more because we do win championships around here. I know I've talked about this a little bit, but when you boo at a game, it's just sports. I mean, you pay the ticket, you boo if you want. I don't care. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, players are getting paid a lot of money to get a job done, and you're the fan making them go a little harder. And then when they don't do something that you like, you let your presence be felt, and they hear that stuff, and it's all right. What I don't like is the you can do it, but the when it gets personal, on your own players, and when the Cardinals go to other parks and they hear some of the stuff yelled at them from opposing fans, they'll chuckle about that. I mean, that's just good-natured stuff. But anyway, the Cardinals have a game today, 1:15 against the Washington Nationals, and we'll have it for you here on KMOX. The night game tonight, I saw a promo for Sunday night's game, and I thought, I'm like, Astros, Angels, that doesn't sound very appetizing. Then I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, actually, that sounds pretty great. I may settle in and watch a little bit of Shohei Ohtani. He hit his major league leading 33rd home run. The Angels rallied in the ninth, and then they scored in the 10th on an error, and they beat the Astros 13-12 yesterday. A throw that went wide of first base scored that run. But Ohtani is really, really special. I mean, what an incredible talent. I have no idea where he's going to end up. Is it possible that he could be traded at the deadline? I guess it is. And I'm sure the Angels are going to entertain offers, but it would take an absolute whopper of a deal to land him. Then if you do, are you going to be able to sign him to the size of, a small country, that amount of money? I have no idea but is he worth whatever amount of money that is in the hundreds of millions of dollars? Perhaps he is. I mean, he is going to sell not only jerseys, but he's going to bring in a ton of media attention. You're going to be the center of baseball. You'll be on every primetime telecast they can fit in. Your brand is blown up all over the world. And by the way, the guy's the best player in baseball. He hits, he pitches, he does it all. And he's going to be doing it for a long time. So I think it's great for baseball. I have no idea where he's going to end up. The way baseball is right now, they are spending money left and right. These teams are spending $400-500 million on payroll. It's unbelievable. He'll probably end up at one of those giants, not the San Francisco Giants, although I guess it's possible. I'm talking about one of the teams who has just a obscene payroll. I like the fact that the Mariners were serenading him at the All-Star game. I think it's great entertainment. I'm a big fan of Shohei Ohtani moving forward. Looking at the Major League Baseball standings right now, just a quick update. The Cardinals right now, as you know, in last place in the NL Central. The Brewers have taken over the division, and if you haven't heard, the Reds have lost 3 in a row. I'm still not sure the Reds have the pitching. If they're going to win this thing at the deadline, they are going to have to land some pitching at the deadline. What's interesting here is you have the Reds, you have the Marlins, you have the Diamondbacks. These are teams that aren't normally in the mix. The Orioles, the Guardians are in there most of the time, but they're kind of fighting for it right now. The Rangers, these are teams that we don't normally see at the top or near the top of the division, and I think they're all going to be aggressive for pitching. And if the Cardinals are going to deal some pitchers, I think there is actually a better chance than you think of getting a pretty good return on Reynolds. I really do when you start to look at all of that. At any rate, the Cardinals are 11.5 out. The Central has the Brewers a game on top of the Reds. Cubs are 7 out. Pirates 9.5 out. Cardinals 11.5 out. Leader in the East is the Braves by 9.5 over the Marlins. They are just unbelievable. The Braves are 61-30, and they have a run differential of plus 155. That is just obscene. But actually, the Dodgers, by the way, lead the West over the Diamondbacks now. I told you that was going to happen by 2 and 2.5 over the Giants. The Rays have the best run differential at plus. Actually, the Rangers do. Rays plus 156. They're 60-35. The Rangers are 54-39, a plus 158 run differential for the Texas Rangers. They lead the AL West. AL Central is a lot like the NL Central. Nobody really is running away with it. And the Twins are a game over 500 and lead the division by 1.5 over Cleveland. Carlos Alcaraz won the second set of Wimbledon 7-6 after Djokovic won the first set 6-1. Djokovic bidding for his record-tying 8th Wimbledon singles championship and 5th in a row. Alcaraz trying for his first trophy as Djokovic wants his 24th Grand Slam title. And right now, Alcaraz has taken a 3-1 lead in the fourth game of that third set at the All England Club. Alcaraz ranked number 1 in the world. He is 20 years old. Djokovic is ranked number 2. He's 36 years old. Alcaraz is the pride of Spain. Djokovic from Serbia. As they continue at Wimbledon, we will watch it for you here on KMOX. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at City and focus on what happened last night and what's to come for this unbelievable soccer club that has taken the city by storm and has captured its fans' hearts. Back in a moment on KMOX.
Carol Daniel for Chesterfield Fence and Deck. I often stand on our deck in the morning and just look at the backyard and our beautiful bronze aluminum fence. It frames our backyard beautifully, and it really makes my husband's landscaping pop. The experience of getting it built, of deciding what to get, working with Chesterfield Fence and Deck, it was a great experience because, number one, I love great customer service no matter what I do, and that's what we got with Chesterfield Fence and Deck, and it's what you are going to get as well. Guess what else you'll receive? In the month of July, call and mention my name, Carol Daniel, and you'll get 20% off your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. 636-532-4054. That's 636-532-4054. Whether you want a bronze aluminum fence just like we have, or a wood fence, or a beautiful patio, or to have them remodel your deck, call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. ChesterfieldFence.com. 636-532-4054. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan, president of McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, McKelvey Homes is celebrating 125 years with our inventory home sale. Get $12,500 off of all our market homes. Move in quick, lock in your interest rate, and get all the popular features and colors selected by design professionals. And for every home sold, McKelvey Homes will donate $1,898 to Dravet Syndrome Foundation. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
You know the Midwest Money slogan, isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? This is Johnny Rabbit. Midwest Money, the oldest coin shop in St. Louis. Buying, selling, and trading since 1971. Silver and gold, coins, sterling silver, flags, medals, daggers, and more. Not sure what you have? Bring your collectibles to someone you can trust. Midwest Money, at the corner of Hampton and Holly Hills. You'll be happy you did.
Summer is all about outdoor fun, but it's no fun when your feet hurt. At New Balance St. Louis, we have the perfect pair of shoes for you. Our fit pros take the time to understand your lifestyle and how to provide the best fitting shoes for your activities. Every customer receives a personalized fitting experience to find the perfect pair of New Balance shoes. 3 locations on both sides of the river: Creve Coeur, Richmond Heights, and Fairview Heights. New Balance St. Louis, nationally known, locally owned.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
If you're looking for a reliable and trusted electrical service provider, look no further than Reinhold Electric, your go-to experts for all your electrical needs. Whether you need residential or commercial electrical services, Reinhold Electric has you covered. With decades of experience and a team of highly skilled electricians, we deliver top-notch solutions tailored to your specific requirements. No job is too big or too small for our experienced team. Call 314-631-1158 online at ReinholdElectric.com.
KMOX is your Cardinals trade deadline headquarters.
With the trading deadline looming, we're going to have to look at ways to try to help this club now, and that's probably going to mean trying to change a few faces.
When the Cards make a move, KMOX will have news and analysis. KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, the world's finest tribute to Fleetwood Mac, returns to the stage in 2023. A brand new show celebrating the very best of Fleetwood Mac. A unique opportunity for fans, both old and new, to rediscover the songs and performances that have ensured Fleetwood Mac's place as one of the most loved groups of all time. Personally endorsed by Fleetwood Mac founding member Mick Fleetwood, live at Chaffetz Arena Friday, October 20th at 7 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online from Ticketmaster.com or in person at the Chaffetz Arena box office.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Now the left foot swinging back at the set header. He got it! Sam Adeniran! Oh, baby! City lead!
Joey Zanaboni with the call on Y98 FM. Sam Adeniran with the goal. Got the scoring started. Headed in across off a corner kick from Indiana Vasilev, and City was off and running. You know how good they are when they score first. And they were up 1-0 in the 28th minute. 12 minutes later, this happened.
STL. Right foot. Yes! Parker! Yeah, baby! Off the post and in! 2-0 City! Give a letter opener to a disenchanted futon store employee! Let's get ripped!
2-0 lead for City at that point, and that was just before halftime. And then in the second half, Edward Leuven comes into the game. He had a goal at the 80th minute. Nice to see him back in there again, and City wins it. 3-0 is the final. Leuven has 5 goals off set pieces this season. As for Parker, he had his 3rd goal, now tied for the 4th most goals by a defender in MLS this season. City has scored 43 goals in Major League Soccer. That is second behind Columbus. That's who they're going to play next in the League's Cup on July 23rd. That's the break that City is about to take as the first place team in the West of Major League Soccer, and they will continue to be in first place all the way until August 20th when they resume play. Tim Parker talked about that very thing heading into this different portion of the season with a big, emphatic victory.
Yeah, and I think in a way I'm really proud of the group, to come out and after the LAFC game to come back to home and to play Miami the way we did. We wanted to make sure that we got off to a fast start and score goals and put pressure on them right away. I think to come home, obviously we always want to put on a show for the fans. They were amazing tonight again, but it's just important for us to finish opportunities and get ahead of a couple of those games.
And this was a case where you haven't always done that, but you certainly did that tonight on the set pieces.
Yeah, all 3 goals were set pieces tonight, which, of course, we'd love a goal in the run of play, but when set pieces come off and, we're always dangerous with the service that we have and the kind of guys that we have in the box. That's something to be proud of as well.
Hey, Tim, go ahead, Tom. I was going to say, what is Alex Langer's magic touch on these things?
I can't tell you. Secret study in the house.
I was going to ask you specifically about head balls, but not like the goals, but just like playing defense. And what does it take to mentally and physically to win a head ball and do something with it?
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about being able to win them, but then the next step is obviously trying to find a teammate when you're able to win it as well. And in our system especially, I think it's very important that we're able to try to keep those balls for second balls and to progress up the field. So I think it's something we challenge ourselves with every time we win one.
And do you feel like you could head the ball farther than anybody in the field? I know it's somewhat joking.
I'd say that's a humble brag. Yeah, I think I could head the ball farther than anyone else.
Tim, remember when they were making fun of you at the beginning of the year for practicing your goal celebration?
I don't. That's pretty bad. Now I should probably think about that.
Who was it?
Klaus. Something to know.
Tim Parker having some fun with reporters. Couple of voices you heard there, Tom Timmerman and Benjamin Hockman of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Hockman asking him about headers. He did head one home off a corner kick from Aziel Jackson, and then Leuven with a beautiful strike off a free kick in the 80th minute. It was a win for City, 3-0, It is very impressive. Astounding, actually, is the word that I would use to describe what they're doing here. 13 wins. That's the fifth most wins ever by an expansion team. And folks, there's 2 months left in the year. I mean, it's amazing. This team is in first place right now and continues to play well. 8-3-1 at City Park in MLS action. When they score first this season, they're now 11-0-2. That is their seventh home win, scoring 3 or more goals. They scored 3 yesterday and beat Miami, and we just missed Messi because Miami has introduced Messi as their big star, Lionel Messi, the best player on the planet, and he will be playing in Major League Soccer. What a gig. He's going to be playing in this league, and the United States will be fawning all over him. It's a huge win for Major League Soccer to have a player like that, but we just missed him. It would have been a lot of fun to see him here. We have right now Carlos Alcaraz leading Novak Djokovic 3-1 in the third set, and advantage Alcaraz with a chance to win another game. He would go up 4-1 on this great champion Djokovic, and we'll see what happens in this Wimbledon final. I think it's certainly historic, as he's going for, Djokovic is, his record-tying 8th Wimbledon title, but you have this player and a changing of the guard, which we all kind of wondered, when is this going to happen? And we have Djokovic just seems to win everything every year. Certainly there have been some great players right alongside him that have done some wonderful things through the years, and we all know they're the Hall of Fame credentials and caliber, but what's the next young group? When are they coming in to take over? And here comes another challenger in Alcaraz, and he looks like the real deal to me. Sticking with Djokovic and actually coming back from losing the first set 6-1 is very, very impressive. The women's side, it was Marketa Vondrousova who won yesterday, beating Ons Jabeur. And what a win for her. She grew up playing on clay at a club in Prague. Her first big success was reaching the French Open final in 2019 on that clay surface. She was the runner-up at the Tokyo Olympics on hard courts. That's when we really started to see that she was the real deal. And now here she is on the grass surface doing very well and winning Wimbledon. That is a life changer when you win Wimbledon. That's forever you are a Wimbledon champion, and we'll see if Vondrousova can continue to capture that. Right now, the Scottish Open has gone to Rory McIlroy. That's a big win for McIlroy, who birdied the last 2 holes in what was a very windy day in Scotland. Shot a 68, beat Robert McIntyre by a shot in the Scottish Open. What a finish at the Renaissance Club as he hit a 3-wood from the rough on 18 to 4 feet for birdie. And that was McIntyre to shoot a 64. McIlroy had to birdie the par 3 17th to catch him. He did. And then on the final hole, McIlroy pulls out a 2-iron, and he sticks it 10 feet for birdie and delivers. McIlroy, a big boost. Why do I call that a big win? Because now he's going to the British Open. The Open Championship is next week at Royal Liverpool. So he will stay out there and start to get ready for that major event as it returns to Royal Liverpool, and all eyes are going to be on McIlroy. He has gone 9 years since winning a major. He hasn't won a major, none of them, in 9 years. Rory McIlroy. Now, he came close to ending that last month at the U.S. Open, but he didn't. He came up short in that one. Last year at St. Andrews, he came up short, but he didn't. He lost that one. They are all watching McIlroy, who has been very outspoken against LIV. He speaks his mind, but he's a really kind gentleman, and I think attracts a lot of attention everywhere that he goes, and he still plays really well, but just not well enough to win these majors. I'm fascinated by McIlroy. I think he's a tremendously talented player who's always in the mix, but yet comes up a little bit short. Why is that? And he doesn't look like the pressure gets to him, but somehow, some way, he comes up just a little bit short. Now, historically, these conditions are favorable for him at Royal Liverpool. The British Open was held there in 2014. Who won that year? McIlroy. So that's the last time that he won the Open Championship. The forecast is softer conditions than normal. That absolutely favors Rory. We'll see if he can, but that's a big win for him today as he won the Scottish Open just before the British Open. The Cardinals play today at 1:15 against the Washington Nationals. We will have a full preview from Cardinals President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak on the way at 11:30. Just before that, Lutz Pfannelstiel, St. Louis City SC Sporting Director, with us right here on KMOX. Calling the action today will be Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne, as John Rooney is taking a little vacation. After the game yesterday, Claibs had a chance to catch up with Alec Burleson, the star of the game. We'll play that for you right after the 11 o'clock news. Tyler O'Neill, that's somebody to keep an eye on. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI at Memphis as their DH. That happened on Friday. Saturday, he went 0 for 4. We'll see how he looks coming out of the gates today, and if he continues to have this track after he's reevaluated tomorrow, if he can be activated from the IL and make a difference. And who knows, maybe he's one of those who could be traded. I think there's a long list of people that are possibilities to be traded, but I don't think they include Walker, Nootbaar, Wynn, Arenado, Goldschmidt. I think you can forget about it. John Mozeliak with us at 11:30 here on KMOX. This is Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar. We'll be back right after the news.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you've been injured, you only get one chance in court. One chance to make things right, to protect your family and future. You need the firepower to do it right the first time. At Underlaw, we understand what's on the line. We know that the outcome of your case can impact your life for years to come. If you're facing a legal battle, don't leave your future to chance.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com for more information.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
It's that time of the year we all love.
Summer.
Sunny weather.
A lack of rain.
But every now and then, it's not what we want.
Rain is just coming down. It's completely black. All the power's out. Thunderstorm activity.
Summer weather. Stay up to date with up-to-the-minute forecasts mornings and afternoons from meteorologists Dean DeVore and Dave Murray. And Storm Center coverage when needed.
I definitely have to know the forecast.
From St. Louis's official weather station, KMOX.
Andrea, what are you doing up there on the Best Buy flooring sign?
Scott, I'm letting contractors know that we have the best flooring.
Come down from there because they need to come in and see our huge selection of carpet, carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, and ceramic tile in person.
Yes, we will not be undersold. Come see us at our 2 locations, 7301 North Lindbergh Boulevard in Hazelwood, Missouri, and 1851 West US Highway 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
KMOX KECK HD2 St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals. KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Christopher Cruz in the Washington Bureau. Crews this morning are searching for 3 people, including a 9-month-old, missing in a flash flood in Bucks County in southeastern Pennsylvania. Late yesterday afternoon, 4 people died when they were caught in the flood. Upper Makefield Fire Chief Tim Brewer.
In my 44 years, I've never seen anything like it. We had approximately 6.5 to 7 inches of rain in under 45 minutes.
It's like I'm sitting in a baker and I feel like I'm gonna get toasted.
That colorful description of what it feels like in the heat comes from a woman in Phoenix, where about 200 cooling centers have been set up. Forecasters say the city is on track to set a record for the most consecutive days at 110 degrees or higher. A dangerous heat wave is continuing in parts of the West and Southwest.
Millions of Americans have been under extreme heat advisories, watches, and warnings in recent days.
Our streak is at 16 days. The old record is 18 days. We're at least going to have 21 days or more. And in terms of the end, it's nowhere in sight.
On CBS's Face the Nation, meteorologist Paul Goodloe at the Weather Channel said heat is just one chapter in the weather story.
The day-to-day occurrences of heavy rain and now the super long heat events we're dealing with across the country and the globe are killing a lot more people.
Most recently in the U.S., South Korea, and India. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
A woman who was the focus of a 2-day search has been found.
I'm Tom Foti. 25-year-old Carly Russell effectively vanished on Thursday. Family members reported her missing after she said she stopped to check on a child who was walking along an interstate highway. Hoover, Alabama police now say she returned to her parents' home late Saturday night, was checked by fire medics, and then was taken to a local hospital for evaluation.
The Black Sea Grain Initiative, which has allowed more than 36 million tons of food to be exported from Ukraine since last August, is scheduled to expire tomorrow, and Russia is threatening not to extend it. Reaction to that prospect from National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan on CBS's Face the Nation.
If, in fact, they pull out of it, the rest of the world will take a look at that and say that Russia has turned its back on ensuring that the countries of the global south and Africa and Latin America and Asia can get the food they need at affordable prices. And I think that will come at an enormous diplomatic cost to Russia going forward.
In an interview scheduled to air in Russia tonight, President Vladimir Putin says his military has a, quote, sufficient stockpile of cluster munitions. And he warned that Russia reserves the right to take reciprocal action if Ukraine uses the controversial weapons supplied by the U.S. This is CBS News.
Find great hires fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, it is hazy skies and 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story, the numbers are dwindling for power outages in the region. Ackerman, Missouri is saying less than 5,000 are without electricity at this hour. At the peak, it was more than 30,000. Ackerman, Illinois says only a couple hundred customers are still in the dark. About 1,000 crew members were working into the night to get power back on after 2 days of storms. Missouri is one of the states with a governor's race in 2024. KMOX political analyst Hancock and Kelly survey the landscape.
Democrat Michael Kelly told Total Information AM Sunday that House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid will put up a good fight if she wins the primary.
Hopefully Missourians will become frustrated with this extremist wing that's taken over the Republican Party. Having said that, you can't argue with statistics and history, and Missouri's an uphill battle for Democrats.
Republican John Hancock didn't say which GOP candidate he thinks might emerge for the general election, but said Democrats in the state likely won't get national dollars thrown behind their primary winner's campaign.
The parties only invest heavily in these on presidential cycle governor's races if they think they have a real good chance to win it.
Brad Choate, KMOX News.
Twitter's new rule now requiring people to have an account before accessing important information like Amber Alerts is causing some concern for the Highway Patrol in Missouri.
That's because the patrol uses Twitter to send out the alerts, and public safety spokesman Mike O'Connell tells KMIZ in Columbia, Missouri, it has been crucial.
When we put out an Amber Alert, we can get like 330,000 hits within 3 minutes.
Prior to Twitter's policy change, the Missouri Highway Patrol issued the alerts with the brief brief description and a link directing you to their Twitter page. Those changes were apparent earlier this month when an amber was issued, but many people without Twitter accounts could not open the link sent by MHP. You can find that Amber Alert information via the patrol's website and Facebook page. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Businesses here in St. Louis and across the nation are bracing for the possibility of a UPS strike. Derek Langeneckert's Alpha Brewing on the south side of town relies on the big bound trucks for delivery.
We get all of our hop shipped in from Oregon. That's all UPS. They're 44-pound boxes, and that's the only carrier they use.
Contract talks between UPS and its union workers broke down more than a week ago. We're still watching out for storms, possibly this afternoon, possibly into tonight, maybe even tomorrow. Temperatures around 95 this afternoon, 88 tomorrow. Tuesday, a little cooler, 84. We're still a little unstable with thunderstorms a possibility. It is 85 in St. Peter's, 83 in Florissant. We have 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagal, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome to the show. We have a second hour for you. Good first hour as we were able to catch up with Ollie Marmol and take a little trip around sports. Some thoughts on the Cardinals. We got a tweet. Drew, what'd they say? What did one of our fine listeners have to say?
So this is from Walt Mosby. He says, if the Cardinals' top priority at the remainder of the season is not giving as much time to prospects as possible, their priorities are wrong. Winning should be secondary. So let's get your thoughts on that.
Okay, winning is never secondary because what you're trying to do is teach young players how to win. So it's both. So yes, you want to see his key phrase there is as possible. You can't play all prospects. You'll get destroyed. I mean, if you pitched like all young pitchers from the minors or something, you're going to get annihilated. I mean, you have to have some semblance of a major league roster. You can't just keep playing young players, but you do want to give them as much time so you see what you have for 2024. But you also want to teach them how to win, and that's why it's important to have a mix of some veteran players in there with them. I mean, the lineup today is Brendan Donovan. This just came out. Cardinals just submitted their lineup. Nationals have not yet. Brendan Donovan's going to lead off again and play DH. Donovan feels like a veteran, but he's really not. I mean, this is his second year. Paul Goldschmidt's a first baseman batting second. He's pretty good, if you recall. He's the National League MVP. Lars Nootbaar is going to bat third today, with Nolan Arenado batting fourth and playing third base. Nootbaar's in center field. Jordan Walker bats fifth. He's the right fielder. Alec Burleson is the left fielder, batting sixth. We talked to Ollie Marmol about those two in particular, Walker and Burleson, and then I asked him about Nolan Gorman at second base. Gorman's back in there again. He'll play second base today and bat seventh. Paul DeYoung is the shortstop, batting eighth. And Andrew Kisner returns to action as he is the catcher for the Cards today. It goes Donovan, Goldschmidt, Nootbaar, Arenado, Walker, Burleson, Gorman, DeYoung, and Kisner. So there's a nice mix right there of young players and veterans. You want to teach this team how to play good baseball together. You want to see what you have for the future. It's a little bit of both. So that's my answer. You can't just say, let's just play prospects and call it a season. I understand that. It's as much as you possibly can. And then again, this is going to be a different looking team on August 1st at 5 p.m. Central Time. Once they make some trades, we're anticipating there are going to be multiple trades. We'll talk to John Mozeliak about it here in 20 minutes. This is going to be a different looking team with an eye on 2024. Not 26, 27, but a little bit of 25 and a lot of 24. And quite honestly, now, because they want to see what they can bring in, change the dynamic. This is not going to be all fixed in one day and try to go win the division. I think everybody understands that they're out of that race. It would take, as Miles Michael has put it, a Disney movie type situation. He didn't say that now. That was earlier in the year. Let's make a Disney movie about how we'd come back. That's what it would be at this point. So right now it is about evaluating and getting ready for 24. Cardinals fans are intrigued absolutely about what that team looks like in 24. Here's an interesting player, Alec Burleson. We mentioned a lot of the young players on this team, but Burleson, all he's done is improve. And even last year when he had bad numbers, he was hitting the ball extremely hard. He had one of the best hard hit rates, but some of the worst luck on this team. And now he's starting to come into his own a little bit. Had a very nice day yesterday. And our visit with him on Star of the Game, let's hear that right now, actually.
Our player of the game this evening, Alec Burleson, outstanding night at the plate. Started off with a home run, hitting left-handed pitching, but let's talk about the catch.
Yeah, credit to Willie McGee. He's pushed me to, during BP, really get better at it, and he's challenged me, and I've accepted that challenge. So that's credit to him.
It's a big difference taking balls off the bat compared to off the machine and the fungos.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what he's emphasized to me. He can hit his fungos, he can roll his ground balls, whatever. But, you're not going to get any game like besides BP. So he really pushed me, challenged me, and I accepted it.
The timing was perfect. You took a home run away. Did you know you had it all the way?
Yeah, I was striking it the whole way. And, when I felt it hit my glove, I was kind of excited and, wasn't quite sure if I could make that play, but, I was excited to do it.
You did a great job with that. Let's talk about the offense. As I mentioned, you led off with a home run, but it seems like you're really seeing the ball well, especially against the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, against the lefty, I try and shorten up and, not really put the ball in play, but I got the 2 strikes off of him, so that's what I was trying to do, and, it worked out for me. But, the last few months, I've just trying to, stay prepared. Haven't been in there every day, but just want to stay prepared and act like I'm in there every day, and it's paying off for me now.
Obviously, you come to the ballpark expecting to play, and you have to go through your ritual. So how have you tried to stay sharp, especially when you haven't played as much?
For me, it's treat BP like my game. Like I said earlier, take defensive reps that way, and take my swings during BP that way. Do situations and stuff like that, and always prepared to start, but. I think I've mastered the craft of coming in the game as well.
Well, you prepared well for the night's game. Nice work, and maybe we'll see you in the lineup tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alec Burleson, our star of the game.
Well, Mike Claiborne's correct. He is in the lineup today. He's playing left field once again with Jordan Walker in right. I like Walker in right. I think he is a better right fielder than a left fielder right now. That could change later on, but right now it looks like he's a lot more comfortable out in right. And Burleson's a good player. I mean, he continues to show some improvement there. He can do a lot of different things for you. He can even pitch in an emergency situation because he was a pitcher at one point. But I like the player. As you heard right there, the personality, he's got a big booming personality as well. He had Jordan Walker really in a mentor-mentee type role. Like you would think that would be one of the older veterans, but Jordan Walker credited Alec Burleson with helping him through spring training and showing him where to go and what to do, and really took him under his wing, so to speak, even though both players are very young to the organization overall. So I think that's a good Cardinal right there. Now watch, they'll trade him after I say all that. No, I think that he's an attractive player to a lot of people. It is a jumbled outfield. I will give you that. But I do like what could be coming for Burleson. He just seems like a good teammate with a strong bat. He improves in the outfield. There's just nothing wrong with his play from what I can see. He's got a nice bat. He makes hard contact, and more often than not, he makes good contact with the baseball. When we come back, we're going to talk to Lutz Pfannelstiel, the sporting director of St. Louis City SC. What a win for City again. They look dominant. This is unbelievable what they are doing. It really is. We'll talk to Lutz next on KMOX. Sports on a Sunday morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Hey, Debbie Monterey here. Before you sell your home, you should know what it's worth in today's market. Call Gloria Liu. She'll tell you. With 20 plus years of experience, Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty has been successfully selling homes in your area for more money than the average agent. Gloria has multiple selling options that give you, the seller, the power of how and when your home is sold. A few of Gloria's options include bringing multiple cash offers from her substantial pool of investors, a zero commission program, and don't forget Gloria's guaranteed sale program. How can Gloria guarantee the sale of your home? Because Gloria's database of buyers is huge, and she's so confident that she can sell your home that she can put her own money where her mouth is. So just call Gloria today, your local St. Louis real estate expert, at 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Savings Event is happening right now with an extra 20% savings, an expanded selection, and in-store designer appearances. Take an extraordinary 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and thousands of engagement ring mounting. Meet the designers who've flown in with all new collections for the summer. The best savings, the best selection, the best value. Don't miss this once-a-year jewelry shopping event. Even open this Sunday. Details, showroom hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
In your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Now, Y98 presents 90 in 60. A look back at the St. Louis City match against Inter Miami. Presented by Ponce Health Sciences University, creating new pathways and careers in healthcare.
With the right hand, now the left foot, swinging back at the center. He got it! Sam again! Oh, baby! Eddie Parker! Yeah, baby! Off the post and in! 2-0 City! Only moving around the ball. They do right. Yeah! Oh, baby! Edward Leuven! 3-0 City lead! Final score, St. Louis City SC 3. Inter Miami nothing.
This has been 90 in 60, presented by Ponce Health Sciences University. Up next, it's tournament play for St. Louis City as they face the Columbus Crew Sunday night. Together Credit Union pregame show at 6, kick at 6:30 on Y98 St. Louis.
Aspiring to be a doctor? Didn't score well in the MCAT? Gain all the confidence you need to succeed at Ponce Health Sciences University. PHSU west of City Park on the corner of Jefferson and Market prepares students for every aspect of a medical career. A Master of Sciences in Medical Science degree. An MSMS from Ponce prepares students for the coursework, the time commitment, and the rigor for a future in healthcare. Learn more at stlouis.psm.edu. That's stlouis.psm.edu.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back. You heard some of the highlights there from City's win last night. And joining us now is the sporting director, St. Louis City SC's Lutz Pfannelstiel is with us on KMOX. How are you, Lutz?
Very well. What about yourself?
I am doing great. What a win yesterday. Absolutely fabulous performance by City. Once again, 3-0 over Inter Miami. What was your takeaway? How would you describe that win?
Yeah, I think it was highly deserved. We played some decent football. We were very dangerous at set pieces. All 3 goals came from set pieces. Miami, you could feel that they are struggling at the moment I would call it in a big transition with Messi arriving today and then all the other players. So it will be just a completely new Miami team, and I think somehow you got that feeling that they wanna get it over with getting Messi in and then starting again on the 20th of August. But overall, we shouldn't care too much about the opponent. We should look at our game. And coming back from Wednesday's game against LA, which was definitely a tough loss, holding up that long just to get the momentum going. I thought the boys did fantastic and very important 3 points in the kitty.
Yeah, very important indeed, as you now pause as an MLS schedule and get ready for the League's Cup against Columbus, as we heard there on Sunday. I'll get to that in just a moment, but just kind of going backwards a little bit, the loss to LA and then the turnaround to win this is pretty impressive, I would say, wouldn't you, about just sort of bearing down and getting after it. It's a very business-like team right now. They just take care of it.
Yeah, you had these 3 wins before, and then obviously the Wednesday game, it's always difficult. It was a long journey, trust me, from Toronto to LA. So with the time difference and everything, I think it was, we knew it will never be easy, but we also knew that the game against Miami needs to be the big focus to jump over that magic 40 points. So now we have 41 points, which is really amazing looking at the table, not just at the table, at the standings, but really looking at the points. And with LA, you saw that they have players which are outstanding, that when they do have a good day, when they switch it on for some moments, that they are an unbelievably good team. And you saw that pass and also the finish in the end of the day from Villa, that was outstanding. But that's a loss I think we can live with. And, we want to focus on the wins, not on the losses. We took that one on the chin. We had a good regroup after a long flight, had a good talk, and everybody knew, let's focus on Miami. I called them a wounded animal, and wounded animal can be very dangerous. But if you smart and, as you said, very professional, then you can kill the wounded animal. That's what we did.
Yes, you did. You mentioned set pieces earlier. This has been really a hallmark of city soccer as you lead Major League Soccer in set piece goals. You're actually 5 ahead of the field. Atlanta United would be second in MLS. All 3 of them from set pieces yesterday. Why do you think that's so successful?
Yeah, set pieces is that second part of our game, and we know we can score a lot of goals on transition moments when we do win the ball up high and actually hurt the opponent on the counter. And the second most dangerous tool, I think, in football, or probably the most dangerous tool in football, is the set pieces. And we put a lot of work in on the training field. Alex Langer, which is our goalkeeper coach, he specialized on the set pieces, so they're working really into every little detail. And I think you saw that yesterday. The run of Tim Parker, I think, was a training ground move. It was a training ground run. We know how good Edu Löwen is with set pieces. I mean, that's one of his biggest strengths, one of a big reason why I brought him over here. Then, of course, Big Sam. Big Sam is in a good mood. He's in a scoring mood. Again, he basically just buried that first header from the corner. And if you sometimes find it difficult to break down a team out of open play, then you can rely on set pieces. That's a very, very good thing for us to have.
Sam with a great goal there, Parker, and Löwen scores. Löwen being back with you is such a lift, isn't it? And what has that been like? And then after you answer that, it's the obligatory question of how Klaus is coming along.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one, so no problem. Okay, let's go one by one. So, Edu's injury was very, I would call it pretty straightforward. We knew exactly how long he will be out. So being back, being already on the long road trip to Toronto, but not involved there, but being with the team, training, get prepared, and getting that few minutes in against LA was really important. But you saw yesterday, once he came on, his dominance, his willingness to get the ball and be involved in everything attacking-wise, working hard against the ball. I mean, Edu is a difference maker. It was not just the goal yesterday, but also the way he put all the other players into very dangerous spaces. So we are really happy to have him back, and he had that impact on only 30 minutes when he was on the field yesterday. Klaus, I think, we all were waiting now to get into this MLS break. So, of course, we have another important competition ahead of us. But everything looks fine. Klaus is in the final stages now. So I'm very positive that when we play against Austin on the 20th of August, that Klaus will be at 100%.
Oh, that's great to hear. A quad injury, you just don't know, do you? I mean, it's a tissue injury, right? I mean, it's complicated.
There's different kind of areas and muscles within the quad, and I mean, Edu's one was pretty much more straightforward than Klaus. It just, in the end of the day, it just takes time, I mean, it was only be patient enough to get him back, and I can tell you, I spoke with him yesterday after the game in the changing room, and Klaus is just he just wants to get back onto this field. He wants to get back in to score goals. So it was a tough period for him to just literally wait and work out and try to keep the fitness, but at the same time be patient enough to let it heal out completely. Because once you re-injure it and you do it all over again, you start from ground zero. And it's very important that we can rely on a good medical department and a player who is smart enough to rather wait a few days longer than push himself over the limit and we start from all over again.
This is Lutz Pfannelstiel, sporting director of St. Louis City SC. Just a couple of things left for him. You mentioned that's going to be August 20th when you resume play in Major League Soccer, but this isn't necessarily a pause or a break. You get right back to work, don't you? You have Columbus on the 23rd. And can you explain to fans, I mean, we're all new at this in terms of following a team all the way through. Most of us have watched Major League Soccer and we're aware of the Leagues Cup, but why the Leagues Cup is important to everybody involved. And this is a World Cup type format, correct, with early stages?
Yeah, it's groups of 3. So there is always 2 American teams and 1 Mexican team. So we at Club America, one of the biggest Mexican teams of all times, maybe the biggest one, and Columbus. And then it's basically every other Mexican team has 2 American teams there. The first 2 going to the next round, and then it becomes a 1 game off going to the next round. So yeah, like a big tournament. It's a great way to play against international teams. Number 1, number 2, it's also I think an opportunity to qualify for the Champions League. So if you do make the final, you qualify for the Champions League, which is definitely something very attractive. But again, for us now to come into this league break and refocus and playing in the Leagues Cup, that's it's 2 completely different competitions. Our big focus must be, of course, in the MLS. I mean, that's our daily bread and butter. But as I said, it's not just a fun tournament. The Leagues Cup, it's a tournament where you can win a title and you can qualify for international football, which is, I think, every player's dream. So we will take it very serious and refocus after 3 days off. Roman Bürki and Parker going now to the All-Star game to DC this week to play against Arsenal. Also, I think, a special moment for both of them. And then we get back to work.
That is special, no doubt about it, for the organization too. This whole thing has been, I mean, what a run this is. I know that you'll look back when you have time on this unbelievable story, but isn't it something that it was just months ago that there were questions out there? You remember, you and I talked about it well, all that chatter out there. Oh, St. Louis, the expansion team, this is going to be tough on them. And here you are at the top of the table. What a story this is, with much more to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I said it many times, and I enjoy that sentence. If everybody thinks you suck, it's great, because you can just prove them wrong. And if the player get that feeling that they're getting angry, they're getting motivated, and really out there to prove themselves every week, it's just great. And not many people outside St. Louis believed in us, and and I think lots of teams, I think 13 so far, got beaten. They thought we were going to win 3 or 4 all season, and after match day 23, we have won 13. So that's something I think we already proved them wrong anyway. But I think now there is no more holding back. We're trying to get as many points as possible. It's our first season. It's too early to be happy. It's too early to be proud. There is still 11 games to go in the league, and then playoffs coming up as well, which we of course hope to be part of. And at the end of the day, so far so good. But now you and me, we're talking since a long time, every week, and I think we have to stay ambitious. We have to stay hungry. There's no point to sit back in the chair and just enjoy what we did so far. We can enjoy today, but tomorrow we have to be back out there and be focused and work hard and stand up for each other. And again, surprise a few more people towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I really appreciate these conversations. It's great insight as to what's going on inside the organization. It's the sporting director for St. Louis City SC, Lutz Pfannelstiel. Have a great rest of your day. Congratulations on what's been an outstanding run so far.
Thank you so much. Have a nice
Thank
Sunday.
you. You too. Lutz with us. Coming up next, John Mozeliak. That's what the Cardinals need. That kind of edge. Say, oh, well, we're not, nobody thinks we're good. We'll show them. Can they get themselves back to being the championship caliber organization that we've known around here since 1926, when almost a century ago, when they won their first of 11 titles? We will catch up with Mo next. It's 11:29 on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Can you imagine being a superhero? With a sidekick? Can you imagine you can fly?
Your sidekick shows up wherever you are.
In a fancy blue truck.
And whatever you point at disappears.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your sidekick.
We're twitching in anticipation,
Vibrating with energy.
we haul away whatever you point at.
Any home or apartment,
Workplace or job site.
we're industrial strength sidekicks.
All you have to do is point
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The mountains came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed and we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Cherry Kelly, man, CherryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late, CherryKelly.com. Cause Jerry Kelly's always open up until 8. They're certified technicians, I've been told. Will help you when it's hot and help you when it's cold, CherryKelly.com. The fast and the good and they got it going on, CherryKelly.com.
At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, our mission is to fight to get you more. Because when you get injured at work or in a car accident, you will need more to move forward. We have more than 800 lawyers and thousands of support staff and more offices nationwide than any other injury law firm. So far, we have recovered more than $15 billion for our clients. But don't take our word for it. Check out any of our more than 28,000 five-star Google reviews from our clients. Injured? Don't wait. Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com right now. Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you more. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you call America's largest injury firm, you get the backing of a national firm, along with a dedicated team from your community, handpicked by us. When you need a fighter, you need us. Call America's largest injury law firm. Call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
KMOX Enter Service Weekend, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. There's a common misconception that all attorneys are created equal, but that's just not true. Most attorneys are not a one-stop shop. They're not equipped to handle complex trucking accidents, serious construction injuries, or catastrophic claims, let alone fly in an engineering team to reconstruct an accident and prove its cause. When it comes to lawyers, there is a difference.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com for more information.
Hello Garage elevates your garage. Our pricing is always fair and reasonable. Plus, we offer discounts for public service, first responders, and military. In as little as 48 hours, get that extra entertaining space and get organized. Visit us online at hellogarage.com.
Want to be a legendary player? It all begins at Horseshoe St. Louis Casino. Horseshoe offers all the thrills. Join the excitement on the casino floor. Tee off at the Topgolf Swing Suite. Catch the game at the Sports Bar. Or relax at the Four Seasons Spa. An unexpected oasis in the heart of downtown. In a quick walk from the ballpark. Horseshoe St. Louis, a Caesars Rewards destination. Legendary. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
If you're looking for a reliable and trusted electrical service provider, look no further than Reinhold Electric, your go-to experts for all your electrical needs. Whether you need residential or commercial electrical services, Reinhold Electric has you covered. With decades of experience and a team of highly skilled electricians, we deliver top-notch solutions tailored to your specific requirements. No job is too big or too small for our experienced team. Call 314-631-1158 online at reinholdelectric.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan, president of McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, McKelvey Homes is celebrating 125 years with our inventory home sale. Get $12,500 off of all our market homes. Move in quick, lock in your interest rate, and get all the popular features and colors selected by design professionals. And for every home sold, McKelvey Homes will donate $1,898 to Dravet Syndrome Foundation. Visit McKelveyhomes.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is 11:34, and joining us is the president of baseball operations for the St. Louis Cardinals. That is John Mozeliak. He is with us live. Hello, Mo. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I wanted to start with a transaction that just happened. We talked about the lineup that was released a little while ago, and Adrian Kisner was in there. He's been activated from the 10-day injured list. That's good news. He took quite a shot there off a foul ball, and nice to have him back. You had Luke and Baker option to Memphis. Just tell us about how Kiz is doing?
Well, I think he's doing well, or we wouldn't activate him, and we just want to get him in right away. I think he probably could have started playing about 4 or 5 days ago, but given the requirement of 10 days, and I think he was just itching to get back in there, so we made that move, and obviously we'll be carrying 3 catchers right now, and so we'll try to balance that playing time as we go.
Yeah, Herrera's pretty good. I mean, you knew that already, but he had a nice 3-for-3 day yesterday. What have you observed from him?
Yeah, a couple things. Obviously last year when we brought him up, we knew he was young. We knew he was still, growing. But, clearly when you think about what he accomplished at AAA this year, it was very impressive. I mean, anybody that can carry a 950 OPS down there is obviously doing something right. And I think the biggest difference is he's been much more aggressive at the plate. It was a lot of what we saw when he was coming up through the minor leagues. And last year, I think when he got a little bit of a taste of the big leagues, I think he was a little nervous, a little tentative, and now he just understands that, or feels he fits in. So I think just that self-confidence is very real, and I think you're seeing that both as on the defensive side of the ball as well as at the plate.
You see that in Jordan Walker too, don't you? I mean, we all knew what a good player he was going to be. You told us. But there's a picture I'm looking at right now in the Post-Dispatch of him with his eyes on the ball, and he's diving to make a play. It was just a tremendous play. As he continues to gain confidence in the outfield, that has to make you all extremely happy.
Yeah, I think we always have to remind ourselves that he's still a very young man and obviously a position change. So, we do have to be patient with his defense. I think the exciting part is he was able to make some adjustments at the plate. I think he's more comfortable at the plate, and he really gives you a great at bat right now. So that's great to see.
This young man who's also 21 years old, Chase Davis, holy smokes. When I saw him hit the ball, he has a beautiful swing. He hits the ball a ton. But then I heard him speak and do interviews, and he's got a big booming personality. What did you observe, and how long have you and Flo and your group been watching him?
Well, obviously, our history goes back with him back when he was in high school. So he was playing actually in Dylan Carlson's hometown, and so our scout had a good relationship with him even back in high school. I don't think he got drafted or the recognition he was hoping for out of high school. So went to University of Arizona. Didn't play much his freshman year, but played a lot as a sophomore and junior. And I think from an athleticism standpoint, you can see why we liked him. It really does have good bat to ball skill, very physical. And so, we thought it was a great opportunity to get him in this year's draft. Obviously when you're picking at 2021, you never know what you might get. And so we were certainly happy with that pick. And, I know Flo and his group are really pleased with it.
We're talking, of course, about Randy Flores, your scouting director and assistant general manager. John Mozeliak's the president of baseball operations. And Mason Wynn's another one of those players with energy and excitement to him. What is the latest on Mason and how he's been looking?
He's playing really well. Swinging the bat, I think, he too is you got to remind yourself of age, but a lot of growing pains at AAA, but holding himself really well. And I don't think anybody's disappointed with how he's going about things right now. Obviously uber athletic and making adjustments defensively, and thrilled that he's holding his own offensively at that league right now.
Obviously, we all know this is a tough time with the team and the standings where they are. I appreciate you going on with Joe Pott last week on this show and talking a little bit about your trade strategy, kind of how you're looking at that. I wanted to go back a week earlier and a conversation that you and I had, and I do appreciate you being open about that too, saying, look, it is fair to say that we should have done more and could have done more. Just to follow up on that, where do you think, and I think you and I were talking specifically about the rotation, just where is your mind on that right now as you look back as far as the offseason?
Well, when I look back, clearly we didn't get off to the start we wanted. Obviously losing Waino at the end of spring training at the WBC, so not having him. And then obviously when you look at even Miles Michaelis got off to a slow start in April. So just the depth of going into the season of guys like Woody, Hudson, Matt struggled early. It just, obviously this is a league where you got to be able to eat some innings. Otherwise, you just put enormous stress on the bullpen. I think we've all witnessed it this year, and you even think back to some of our starts where we just give up a ton of runs early, and then you just feel deflated. And I've been fortunate in my career not to experience this really ever. So it's certainly something that you're definitely trying to learn from, and obviously you don't want to repeat it, but you can see how when a team loses confidence, when a team feels like they're already out of a game, day and night going into it, it's just like, it's tough. And I just think from an emotional standpoint, it's been a really long year. And so, obviously we're going to have to look at ways to improve upon that. And, hopefully there are a lot of internal lessons learned from that moving forward.
Yeah, it is a glimpse into what you are going to try to do here for 24. It's easy for me to say, well, why didn't you just go get an ace or go get this guy or that guy? That doesn't always, like, writing a huge check, now that you see what's happened to some other teams, doesn't always work. So it's a little bit in the middle, isn't it? It's kind of what you're saying, that depth and innings is a huge part of this.
Yeah, and I think it's probably never fair to just judge your team like mid-season or end of season when you're in a place you've never been, because again, there's a lot of emotions that are involved in this. There's a lot of things that happen internally that maybe had things gotten off to a better start or a different outcome, things may have changed. But I do feel like this is a team that had high expectations, got off to the slow start, and then put enormous pressure on ourselves to try to get out of it. And, unfortunately, we really never got on track. And now we have a couple weeks before the trading deadline, and hopefully we can position ourselves well for 2024.
And in that interview that I'm alluding to with Joe last week, you kind of said, look, it's more like a hybrid. I mean, we are trying to plan for now, but also a little bit towards the future. We're not looking at 26 or anything like that, but it is an immediate need to fix this. I think also, I know you well enough, you don't like the word that gets used a lot at the trade deadline, untouchables. But do you have in your mind, some players, you don't have to say who they are, but players you're saying, no, that's not happening, or is it anything possible?
I think the best approach would be anything's possible, but look, I'm human. There's certainly some players I would say that there's a very, 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 very high probability that are not traded. We're going to really just look at a way to see what's the best way to inject talent into this club, and we'll see if we're able to accomplish that. So, I guess stay tuned.
Yeah, I hear you. I mentioned this at the top of we're wrapping up here with John Mozeliak, but I mentioned at the top of the hour, I had someone tweet in, Twitter is always pretty wild, but somebody said, the Cardinals should be playing prospects. Winning is secondary at this point. I said, winning is never secondary. I mean, you're trying to learn how to win. I think there's also this perception out there. What is your reaction to this, where people are saying, are the Cardinals are they trying to win or not? And I've known Bill DeWitt for a long time. He has never struck me, again, this is the first time you all have been down this road that I can remember, but he's never struck me as somebody who doesn't want to win a championship. I mean, isn't that kind of what the Cardinals are built on?
Well, I think we went into the season thinking we were built for success. I mean, candidly, our team looks a lot like last year, but we've just had different outcomes. When you look at our club from a standpoint of one-run games, we just have not done well. When you look at our club from just a pure starting pitching ERA, we have not done well. Have we been able to score runs from an offensive standpoint? We have, but unfortunately, baseball is not just about one person. It's a team effort, and it's a collective effort. And I think that's what I was trying to allude to earlier about when things don't seem to be going right, they tend to spiral on you. And, you think back to April, it was just really tough baseball. And then May, we started to we're coming out of this. But then June, we kind of went right back in, and we've just not been able to find that sustained success that allows you to play with that day-to-day confidence. And, for fans and people that are frustrated, look, I understand. I'm as frustrated as anybody. And, hopefully we can start to see better baseball. And when someone asks, are we still trying to win? Yeah, we're still trying to win, of course. We're professionals. We come to the ballpark with that in mind, but we also have to be realistic. And some of the decisions that may happen over the next couple of weeks are a little bit more about the future than maybe just the 2023 season.
Last thing, it sounds like the coaching staff has the backing of this organization here. Am I accurate when I say the staff? I mean Ollie and his group there.
Yeah, again, I feel like we all have some blame in why we are where we are, but I mean, these guys are working tirelessly to try to get this right. And, there's some things you can fix, some things you can help, and there are times where some things you just can't. And that's not necessarily a failure of effort or strategy. It's just, we're kind of in a tough spot right now. And I really feel these guys are going about it right. They're trying, and I certainly believe in what they do.
Thank you for the time. Appreciate it very much, and good luck today against the Nationals.
All right, thank you.
John Mozeliak, Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, with us on KMOX. Quick break. Back with more right after this.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our mission is to help improve the air quality of your home. From whole house air cleaning systems to UV sterilization systems, our trained comfort specialists can take care of it all. Just call 855-1HOUR or visit onehourair.com and breathe easy. We're always on time, or you don't pay time. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Carol Daniel for Chesterfield Fence and Deck. I have a special for you just for the month of July. When you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck and mention my name, Carol Daniel, you get 20% off your next outdoor project. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, 636-532-4054. You're also going to get not just 20% off, which is fantastic, but you're going to get quality products and expert installation. That's exactly what we got when Chesterfield Fence and Deck built our bronze aluminum fence over 10 years ago. Frames our backyard beautifully. You're also going to get the free in-home estimate and the free project design. When I think of our bronze aluminum fence, frames our backyard beautifully, makes my husband's landscaping really pop. So are you ready to enjoy your backyard like never before? Let my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck show you exactly what they can do. Whether it is a wood fence or a beautiful sunroom or gorgeous pergola, Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
This is Owen Goldstein with All Surface Flooring, here to announce our anniversary sale starting July 17th through July 22nd. That week only, we will be offering 20% off our entire store, including Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet and the incredibly durable Mohawk Ultra Wood. On Saturday, July 22nd, come join us for our parking lot extravaganza. Help us celebrate All Surface Flooring with food, drinks, prizes, and our largest sale in store history. You won't want to miss this one-time only sale.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
KMOX welcomes you and your friends to Ballpark Village for the 2023 Women's World Cup and dedicated watch parties for U.S. matches on July 21st and 26th. Parties include pre- and post-match entertainment, games, live music, drink specials, and more. Pre-game parties start at 5 and matches start at 8 p.m. The 2023 Women's World Cup watch parties. Reserve your watch party table today at stballparkvillage.com.
Manchester Coin and Jewelry is the estate buyers. From fine jewelry to costume jewelry, watches, working or not, on Manchester Road west of 141, it's Manchester Coin and Jewelry, the estate buyers.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Blue Tail Medical Group. The doctors at Blue Tail Medical Group are the nation's most trusted experts in joint pain relief without surgery. Doctors Bays, Crane, and Wolf can help your joints regrow soft tissue to improve flexibility and reduce pain. Working through the proper FDA channels, they train other doctors from around the country how to stimulate growth using the patient's own stem cells. Recovery times are short, risk is minimized, and the results can be dramatic and long-lasting without surgery. Schedule an appointment at 636-778-2900 or visit them at bluetailmedicalgroup.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. At Underlaw, we know you have questions after an injury. Do I need a lawyer? What's my case worth? How long will it take? At Underlaw, your experience begins the minute you pick up the phone. Our intake team will listen to your situation and get you to the right attorney. So when you have questions about a car crash, a work-related injury, or a life-changing accident, Underlaw has the team that's right for you.
Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com for more information.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle. That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing: not running out of money. Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group can help you develop a retirement income stream that fits your idea of the perfect retirement. Call 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. The All Financial Group and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. The All Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including life insurance and annuities, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
I would suit up in my uniform, and you're going out on patrol. What are we going to do tonight? Well, we're going to rob some drug dealers, and I know how to do it really well.
Listen to and follow The Set, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series, available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your shows.
I'm not a bad guy, man, but I loved being that dirty.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. Final segment before we take you to Cardinals pregame. It was good to hear from Ollie Marmol, Lutz Pfannelstiel, and John Mozeliak. I know Mozeliak, every time we have him, gets a lot of reaction, and I'm sure there will be that. Let's direct you to KMOX.com, Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast page. Drew will get that up there for us. You can hear it immediately if you want. Just go back to 11:34 on your Odyssey app. Just rewind with your finger there. Pull it back to 11:34, and you can hear the interview that we just did. What's the reaction there? We're on like every social media channel there is, thanks to Drew, on video. But what are they saying on those videos, sir?
So we got Scott in the chat. He said, should be no trades. Keep the team intact. It's just one bad season. Don't make any more trades.
Okay.
We have to.
I disagree. It is one bad season. It's one really bad season, but it doesn't mean that they're going to blow the team up. But you have to make trades, Scott, because you only have Steven Matz and Miles Michaelis under contract in your starting rotation for next year. They have holes to fill. They have to get pitchers, and that has to be the focus here at the trade deadline, is to find controllable pitchers that you can insert into this rotation, not to save the 23 season. That ship has sailed. It's now to get yourself ready for 24, and then you could make a run in the offseason and make a trade or sign a free agent to add on to that staff. Mo just told you right there, they didn't have enough depth heading into this year. That's a regret of theirs. They will address that at this deadline and in this offseason. So, yes, there should be trades. Plus, you're going to lose Flaherty and Montgomery, most likely to free agency. Flaherty should test free agency. He's starting to pitch really well, and I think he'll attract some attention at the deadline too. And you have to get value. You don't want to lose those players for nothing. Jordan Montgomery, love him. I mean, of course, I would love to sign him to an extension, but his agent is Scott Boras. And Scott Boras is going to try to get the most value that he possibly can for money. And you know what? He should. And Monty's a young lefty who has pitched in Yankee Stadium. He's pitched at Busch Stadium. He's pitched in big moments, and they need him. Somebody started the market's not going to be that filled with great starting pitching, and he's going to be one of the top dogs as well as Flaherty. I think that Jordan Hicks, it's a little interesting. He will be a free agent and should test it. Because he's not a starter and because he's not really one of the best closers in the game necessarily, I'm curious what the market will be and if it's possible that he could come back and be part of this bullpen. I wonder about that, but they do have some other candidates, and they will go out, I think, and look around for some others.
So we got Gene says O'Neill for a minor league pitcher, top 30 prospect, maybe another player with him.
Top 30 prospect in all of baseball or on the team? Yeah, on one of the teams. That's what you're going to get for Tyler. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, Tyler O'Neill will go somewhere and play well. I don't think poorly of him. I've gotten along with him quite well. I'm sorry that he's dealt with so many injuries and can't get on the field. And the Cardinals have outfielders ready to go. One of them plays right field for you, Jordan Walker. There's one spot taken. The other one's Lars Nootbaar. There's another spot taken. He's going to own one of those spots. They have Dylan Carlson. Now, Mozeliak said last hour that he wouldn't bite on not that I was throwing bait, but he didn't say that anyone on the team is untouchable, but he did admit that he's human and there are some players that are likely a no. But I think he's got to keep it open. He's not going to show his hand to any of these teams, who's available, who's not. I think, you want to see what the market is for any player, I guess. But Nootbaar is an untouchable in my book, and so is Walker. And I could be talked into Carlson. I think we haven't seen enough of Carlson to say that we've seen his ceiling. I think he's still got great baseball ahead of him. He's just a great kid, great player. It can do a lot of stuff, but that's a crowd of Burleson. I mean, there are a lot of outfielders, and someone's got to go, and maybe two of them, possibly. There's also a lot of middle infielders, and I like them all. Yes, even Paulie D. I mean, Paulie can do some things for you, but Paulie's a likely trade candidate, I would think. And you've got a star in the making in Mason Wynn coming. It's just there are going to be trades. So the one person saying that you don't make any trades, I don't know that there's enough talent in the minor league system to just bring everybody up and go, especially on the pitching side. I mean, you're going to have to trade to fill that, or they would have filled it already. They would have fit, Matthew Liberatore would have just come in and taken a spot in the rotation. They need to make some deals. Thanks for joining us. Cardinals next.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler talking about a special 2-day event where you could learn more about Dr. Bosler's newest hearing aids.
Charlie, people are loving these new hearing aids and telling us that they provide a smooth sound, and they're giving a noticeable reduction in that interfering background noise, which allows for them to have more clarity and understanding in those noisier settings. This event is providing people a chance to listen for themselves. We're offering 2 days